Yo, what's up? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, the author of What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon, Curly Hair Adventures, and the founder of Textures Intercultural Exchange to benefit the education of cosmetology in Gambia, and now to protect the education of cosmetology and barbering here in the state of Ohio, as well as natural hairstylist license. Guess who I have next to me? Come on over here. A real live barber, okay? So he's from Major League. It's my homeboy and my nephew, man, and Bob. He's the best barber in the land, okay? And he's over at Major League over on Lee Road. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but Major League has some funky, fresh, dope barbers in the industry, very talented, very passionate. What's your take on this whole deregulation about people can just come into a barber shop and just cut hair with very little education and at least 15 minutes of training?
I think it's stupid. I honestly do. It doesn't make sense. I've been licensed for about 7 years now. I've been cutting hair since I was 16 years old. And I refused to go into a barbershop before I was licensed. And they tried to get me. I had plenty of places I could have worked, and I'm happy I didn't. I've had people come into the shop I've worked in with over 20 years of experience be surpassed by people with 6 months of experience just because they were willing and ready to learn and be schooled and were open to...
Be schooled. Did you hear that? Be schooled.
You know,
so let's read one of these for example. They're saying that, here's a good one. So here's what they're saying about barbers. So they're saying reduce the education clock hours by 55%. So how many hours did you have to complete?
1,800 hours.
So they want
about 850 hours.
So they want to reduce that. So why? I mean, what is it about barbering that you think they think it doesn't require? Like, or better yet, not that. What about barbering? Why you really need to have education in barbering? Because people really think it's just about tighten up the fade.
Because a lot of people go to school and they learn what they want to learn and they get the skills that they think they need for where they work at, and then they realize that where they work at is way wider, way more broad as far as demographic of people coming in than what they thought it was. So now you're seeing all these different textures of hair. Like I cut sets of twins and triplets, none of them have the same texture of hair. It may look the same, but it's not. So just because you've cut 1,500 people and you've seen all these different textures, people think, oh, I've cut everything, I've seen it all. And you haven't.
You haven't.
I've cut every race on the planet and I'm still seeing textures I've never seen before.
Did you hear that? See, that's what we're trying to get you guys to understand, that education in our industry is not just about the actual style. You have to understand that we're touching people. And he's telling you that even in barbering as well as in cosmetology, no two heads of hair are alike. Even on triplets, even on twins, he has to have a different set of skills, and that no one skill set can you cookie cut for every person that sits in your chair. What about sanitation? So they're saying that this industry does not need as much sanitation. What do you think about sanitation as a barber?
I feel like barbering sanitation is personal because I'm not the best, but I've seen people that are so nasty that made me go clean my station. Like, so it's like...
So you need, so
I would even step my sanitation up. I should and I need to. And I see people who are so bad, it's like, oh, well, my stuff isn't nowhere near that bad.
But do you think sanitation?
It's very important.
Sanitation is really important. Now, what do you think about this thing about natural hair? So like people with natural hair, so say if a person was a braider and they don't need any, and they wanted to cut some hair, but they don't have any education or sanitation requirements, what do you think? Do you think natural hair is on all people or just on black people? Like,
I think that's on all people. I don't think it really matters because there are a lot of people who get in, like I've done, like when I was on Eddie's on Coventry. I used to have these guys come in with these big, long, like white guys with big, long curls, and they don't want their hair cut short and styled and combed over and greased down. They want their natural look, and they want that texture cut into their style. And you can't do that with just processing and greasing and gelling and doing all that. You have to know the style, you have to know the texture, you have to know how the curl flips, how it lays. This is all about how much you put into it. You get out what you put in. So people like to put in the bare minimum, and that's what they get back. That's why they have these sanitation problems.
And this is not good for the public. He's telling you. Now, this is a barber. He's saying natural hair is on all people, but we need the education because the customer doesn't, so if a customer comes to you as a barber and they have curly hair, are they telling you I'm black? Or are they telling you I have curly hair and service me as a person with curly hair, or service me as a white person who don't think they black? Which one you think it is?
I think it's more so service my hair, the way my hair grows out of my head. Everybody doesn't want to wear, and that's the thing, especially in barber college, they have this thing where a lot of barber colleges, especially in the Northeast Ohio area, they teach a set template on every head where if you follow it, you can almost do a perfect cut on everybody. But then everybody ends up your hair with the same blend, the same levels, the same length, whereas the way I was taught to cut, I was taught to cut off the shape of the head, off the crown of the head, off the way the hair falls, off the shape of the face, off the nape of the neck. That's the way you should be taught to barber. That's the way you should be taught to cut. You can't learn that in your kitchen. You can't learn that watching somebody say, this is how you do a taper. This is how you do a line up. No, you need to be able to look at somebody's face and their head and where their ears sit, where their eyes and where their eyebrows sit, and know all of that. My uncle taught me that, who's never been licensed. He taught me that when I was 12 years old when I first started cutting hair.
And he cuts my hair, and I'm always getting compliments.
There are people in barber college that I was teaching stuff to. I learned most of the stuff from my peers than I did from the instructors, because we were willing to learn and teach each other and try to grasp as many concepts about the knowledge of hair that we could, because this is my life. This is what I want to do. I don't plan on going back to school for anything else.
And now if you wasn't in school, you would have just had the little bit of information that your uncle gave you, but when
I would have
you
been able to do tapers and fades for the rest of my life.
That was it. He said he admitted, I started with my uncle. My uncle gave me a great foundation. But if that's the only education, he would have been boxed in. So limited education means limited what?
Limited money.
Limited money. And you guys got to understand that is what this is all about.
Limited happiness.
Yeah, and they're all
limited work.
Right, and they're only doing this to who? People of.
Yeah, that's it.
They're only doing this to us because they don't think that, you know, the education for black and brown people is really required. Education is really required. He just told you, I started this off at home, but he realized soon that wasn't enough. And when he got to school, he said the school can only give you so much. So combined with education, people from other disciplines, walks of life in the school, he was in a safe place to learn and get instructions and to be able to take his career to the next level and not box him in. Because if you take away how many hours did you need?
1,800.
So if you take 1,800 hours and you break it in half, that means you can't go to the surrounding states because the other states require at least 1,800 hours. I'm talking about the states that touch Ohio.
Yeah.
So there you have a licensed barber who's going to sign the petition. He's also, if you're his customer and when he goes to confirm, he's going to send you a link to sign protectmyprofession.com. And so you sign the petition, and I'm going to have him, do you mind reposting some stuff on your channel? So you can, what's your Instagram name?
Believeland Barber Boucher.
Believeland Barber Boucher.
Yep.
That's on Instagram. And so there you have it, a licensed barber who's stepping up to the plate. He's going to bring some of these over to the barber shop so the customers, you guys can check it out. And barbering, by the way, is it just for men?
No, we have plenty of female barbers in the industry, and they're actually very good. And the messed up part is they're doing a better job than a lot of the men because they pay more attention to detail and they care more about sanitation and spreading germs and ringworms and all types of other stuff on
that people. They don't think happen. What about women cuts, like our barber salons? Like I used to think barber salons are, and I still do, are predominantly men. Is that true?
For the most part, yeah, but I cut more women than I like.
Okay.
And they don't seem to be slowing down.
Okay, and I'm a customer. He's my nephew, but I'm also a customer. I have been to the barbershop over there, Major League, and like he says, you know, every industry, we all have some areas of growth that we need to concentrate on, but for certain, he agrees that lowering the education, you know, lowering the standards of sanitation and segregating the industry from natural hair away from cosmetology and barbering is not a good idea, because the public at large, they like the fact that they can come to professional places like ours and be seen as people who have hair on their head versus people who are black and white, black and white, rich, poor, Puerto Ricans, Asians. People are not really into that. That may look good on your census, but when it comes to touching people, he agrees. They want to feel comfortable by people who are trained and educated. So we are against House Bill 399 to lower the education and training and everything in our industry, and we are against Senate bills 235 and 245, which are against, the natural hairstyling license. So we'll post this online. This is put together by Mr. Waverly Willis. He is of the Ohio Barber and Beauty Alliance. Good guy. Did you hear that? Waverly Willis, big ups. Shout out to you. Thank you for putting this together. I'm going to thank you so much, Neff.
Thank you, Auntie.
I love you. That was good love. All right, next up, let me have my brother, Shed. Come on over right quick. We're just going to have a salon coordinator. So he's going to just give us just a real quick, what you think about no education, deregulation. Now, you don't even do hair. So come on, help us out.
Full disclosure, this is my sister, my lovely sister, Ladosha. Big up to her, Otep to all good people out there. Thank God, giving thanks and praise to the God Almighty. First of all, I think that what's being missing, the point that's being missing is education is the key. I mean, they reiterated it, but education is the key. You can only go so far with a limited education. You don't want to have your education stopped at no level. You don't want to take none of your hours. You don't want to take none of your CUs. None of that. The more you learn, like I said, the more you learn, the more money you make.
Can you talk about what type of complex issues that you get over the phone? Because he's the gatekeeper. Now, every salon doesn't do this per se, but every cosmetologist has a point of contact over the phone or maybe even online. That's a gatekeeping process before you get to that chair over here. So tell them what type of things that you hear over the phone that to you would justify this ain't the time for deregulation, okay?
Well, we get a lot of phone calls from people with a lot of scalp issues mostly.
Okay.
They have their itchy scalp, they have their damaged, some of them even have quote unquote sores in their head and whatnot. And you don't want
what about hair loss?
Hair loss, definitely. Hair loss, hair breakage, hair damage. We get a lot of people who don't know exactly how to take care of their hair, a lot of that, and I don't know what to do. And when we're speaking to the more complex issues, it is not the time when a client guest gets in your chair for you to say, what should I do? You gotta be ready for them when they get there.
And so if you lower the education, can we address them?
No.
Can we? Because you have to be able to identify what's going on so you can say, well, you need to go to the doctor.
Right.
Because if you don't have education, then what's the drawback? You're playing doctor over the people's head. You're underserving because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
But you think that because you have these cosmetology license or this education,
This little bit of that.
this little bit now at this point that you can solve this problem. Do you think that if we raise the standards that we could have a segue to help them and refer them more to the doctor?
Yeah, raising the education standard not only helps you to diagnose them as far as maybe they won't see the doctor, but it also helps you to gauge which products and tools that you can use yourself to rectify the situation. The more you learn, these are things you can learn to do yourself. You don't have to necessarily send them to the doctor. You might be able to remedy, like we have products here that can remedy some slight issues, I mean, if you get educated the right way, get the proper amount of time, and continue your education, that helps you out too as far as you diagnosing the guest and you better serving the guests. Because it's all about service. Remember, we're in the service industry.
Right.
So it's all about better service. And the better service you get, the better business you have.
So do you think that hairstyling is just really all about, do you think our license is really about just cutting and styling hair?
No.
No.
Absolutely.
I would say, in all honesty, the style, honestly, guys, I'm not even joking, it's 10% of the service.
Yeah.
Because, like he said, when a person, this is what you politicians don't understand. I've looked at a lot of politicians' hair, And I could tell by you guys' hair that you're used to going to salons where you ask for a service or you tell the professional what you want and that's all they do. And the reason why they only do that is because that's all the education they have. Right. So if you go to a braider, if you go to a stylist, if you go to a barber who has very little education and you say, I want hair color, and the hair is not in the best condition, or you can do more color, or you can do a different kind of color, then guess what? They can't do it because they don't have the education to service you properly. So we both agree that the hairstyle, the haircut, the actual eyelash application, the braids, the makeup, the lipstick, the nail polish, these services are 10% of why a person comes to a hair salon. He's telling you that as the gatekeeper, they're not really calling saying, I want just a hairstyle. They want more. The workplace, the industry is requiring a more educated, a cosmetologist and a barber and a natural style, a makeup, all these people who have good deductive reasoning.
And not to cut you off, but that's what you want to do, is you want to be able to fully service the guests. You don't want to just be that person. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing a good style, but doing a nice, funky, fresh, snapping style could be doing something to the scalp. I mean, you got to be able to do a thorough job.
A thorough job. And this,
all the way through.
What does that do for your career when you can do that? What do you see happening?
You get a better notoriety. People see, like you, I don't mean to be, partial, but everybody knows Ladosha is the one to come see. And you get your education level up and keep it up and tag on more and more, you become that person everybody wants to see.
And be honest, am I the best hairstylist? No. I'm pretty good, don't get me wrong, I'm okay. But there are cosmetologists who have way more talent. There are nail techs who have, my nails look nice.
They're beautiful.
They're good.
Some of the best stylists in the country.
Yeah, we got some of the best. But you know what? The public, they're not just really focused on how cute we can make them. They don't want just the undercut. They want a little bit more. And if we give them education, we're talking about comments from a salon coordinator who works with, what about, what we have at our guest, bring that tissue, at our front desk. You know what we have at our front desk? You guys won't believe this. Tissue. And I'm going to tell you, this tissue is not because it's cold outside. Why is this tissue at our front desk, honestly?
This tissue, a lot of times, I don't know if this was
emotions.
Right. A lot of times we get people, guests in the chair, and when they get to explain their situation, they get emotional to the point that we have to, it's all right.
It's that serious. But you need education to know why you should have tissue at your front station, because for a lot of people, hair is emotional.
If you ask me, everybody that comes, especially in this salon, everybody comes in, their hair is more important to them really than their clothes or anything else. When it comes to their appearance, their hair is the most important thing. And it's almost like a religion. They gotta have their hair, done right, done properly. And they want to give the full service, not just sit our way, I get you, okay, you go sit over there. Now they want full service, full professional.
Professional service. Okay.
That's the operative word, they're professional. And that's what education is all about. LeBron say, what separates professionals from amateurs?
What is it?
It's practice.
Practice.
It's education.
Education is key.
You want to be a professional, get your education, get your practice.
Right, and we just had a young lady, I think I'm saying about Tazini, I think I'm saying it wrong, Tazini. She won the Miss Universe. She's from South Africa. I'm sorry for messing up her name. But you know what her main focus was in her response about what changes she could make in the world? It was education. And we're talking about a young lady, at the height of her, one of her highest high, because she's going to go further. And so even in something as pertinent and, a accomplishable as becoming and crowned Miss Universe. That's a very big title. She's even saying that education for women, education for all people is key. This industry is predominantly women.
Right.
Barber is predominantly African American men. So we know what the message they're sending. We're seeing increased headlines about relaxers and stuff causing cancer. Don't you guys see? Relaxers, they do not cause cancer, guys. You have to read the research. A lot of this is designed to hurt the black manufacturer.
And to dumb down the industry.
Yeah, they're just trying to dumb it down.
Just ask yourself this question. You got all these politicians and business people and whatnot trying to come out and decrease your education. They ain't decreasing theirs.
That's right.
They steady getting theirs.
Those
They
part,
got
the
theirs
part,
and they getting
as a
theirs.
matter of fact, Jenna Powell, who introduced House Bill, she's a Republican, and I do like her tenacity. That is the one thing I do like about younger people, is that she's like, I don't care nothing about LaDosha, I'm making no videos, I'm gonna speak my thing, I'm gonna do what I gotta say. But you know what? She has a degree and she has another company.
Right.
So she has her education. So
Don't let them take
don't
yours.
let them take yours. So you want to respect the Jenna Powells and the Stephanie House. Stephanie House, she has a degree. Sandra Williams, they have a degree, but they're not just politicians. They have other flourishing. These are prominent women. These are not some, everyday
Get your
love. They
education.
ain't out there at the club bopping, okay?
Going out their way to get their
yes.
education.
Yes.
Wanna take yours away.
Yeah, so don't let them do that, okay? So again, we thank you guys for listening. We want you guys to go to protectmyprofession.com, sign the petition. If you are a beauty professional, when you confirm your appointments, just send the link. Send the link, www.protectmyprofession.com, and just paste it and send it and ask them to sign the petition. If you want copies of these, you can come up here and get some. We have plenty of copies. You can also contact Mr. Waverly Willis. You can go up to La Barberia Hair Institute up in Mayfield Heights. If you're just from anywhere in Ohio and you're watching this, I can email this, you can print it, you can share it, but this is gonna take a united effort. So I'm doing my part, you do your part. We do not want them to lower the standards of education. We don't want them to lower the standards of regulations, and we definitely don't want them eliminating any education or any
Anything we want to raise it.
yeah, we don't want them to eliminate education and regulations for natural hairstylists, because that's segregation. Again, they're just trying to segregate. They're trying, because the cosmetology schools wasn't teaching this like they were
another way of
supposed
them
to.
keeping you down.
They're trying to keep us down by segregating it. So don't let them do that, okay? So thank you so much. Again, I'm LaDosha Wright, the author of What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon, Curly Hair Adventures. We're talking about a whole lot of peace. We're talking about a whole lot of love. And we definitely talking about hair. And if you ain't got no hair, then do what? Just rub your little bald head, okay? Don't forget, sign the petition. We need your help. Bye. Oh, share the video. Don't forget to like it.